Charlie, and Garrett is back for the post hashtag double eviction for the 20 BB21 season. Garrett, I'm starting it off with you because you're back. Also, hello everyone in chat. Fume, we got him already out here, and Garrett, I'll throw it to you. This was your first double eviction that you witnessed. It's a little crazy, right? And what'd you think of it?
Oh yeah, I mean, first of all, like you guys told me about this like as a potential thing earlier this season when we were just discussing stuff, like because I forget what it was that happened. I think it was I just thought it was crazy, like when all the what were those things on Sunday called for a while? Activity comps. Like I thought that was wacky, and they were like, wait till you get to a double eviction. I was like, what's that? And you guys kind of started breaking it down for me, so I knew what to expect. I just didn't think it would move as quickly as it did. I mean, there was more commercial breaks probably than other episodes because they had to just time things right because they probably can't guarantee commercial slots on this episode in particular. Right. But it was just really intense and the way, and it proved just how quickly things can change if just one or two comps go a certain way in this game. The foundations have been completely shaken. It's amazing.
I agree. Now, something I want to point out, Charlie, I don't know, the whole episode, I don't know why I've never really thought of this before. Fume says Undertaker is back. Hey, it's happening. The dead man, he's going to be dead before soon. I mean,
his nickname will become reality. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get to that in a second. We got him, boy. But first thing I want to highlight, Charlie, CBS really has to have their act together in order to start this exactly on the hour and end with about 30 seconds left. I mean, there's so many variables. It's impressive that they get through this, right?
Yeah, especially with that HOH comp, because that theoretically could have taken a good minute, but it looked like at the end there, both Nicole and Tommy were done. So,
hey, great segue there. So when it came to HOH comp, so first let's talk about this was kind of expected, really expected. Jessica got sent home with the first eviction of the night. Also, Aaron Rodgers not looking so hot, Charlie, but we'll talk about
first quarter.
Oh, there, buddy. Who's winning there, bud? How's it going?
I have nothing to say about quarterback situation right now, but
dude, Jacob Briskett's better than Andrew Luck ever was. So,
facts only. No.
Welcome.
Anyway, Damien says I'm here. Hello, Damien. So Jessica got evicted first. That was expected. She gave the weirdest interview ever. She's like, I wouldn't be surprised if Jackson was out here next, which absolutely showed that she has no idea what's going on in the game, which is hilarious. And Julie was like, is that an educated guess or is that just what you want to happen? She's like, that's an educated guess. I mean, and Julie's like, so you think everyone's gunning after him? She's like, I would think so, which is the farthest thing from the truth. So that was kind of funny. So Jessica got evicted first, and then we had an HOH comp, and it really came down to Nicole was crushing the puzzle. They had to complete a puzzle and then hit a goal down their puzzle. Their puzzle was on the ground, made a little hockey rink with the Big Brother logo and stuff in the middle, and then they had to score a goal. Nicole was crushing the puzzle, and she missed her first shot, and Cliff completed his puzzle as she was putting her ball for the second shot. So if she would have missed, I think Cliff would have probably won. But Nicole did hit her second shot and ended up winning the comp. So Nicole was HOH, and then it didn't really matter if it was her or Cliff because they already apparently had the strategy that they talked about yesterday. If it was a double evict, what were they going to do? They decided it was going to be Tommy and Christy. And it seemed at the time, Charlie, because we get to hear little peeks, it seemed like Nicole might have wanted Tommy to be gone at first. It seemed like because when Jackson and Holly were talking to her, she was like, I'm putting up Tommy and Christy. And Jackson was like, and then who are we sending home? Christy? And Nicole was like, let's see how Vito goes first. So it seemed like she wanted Tommy gone, but everyone else wanted Christy. Is that what you gathered as well?
Maybe. I definitely think they might have gotten her head a little bit about Christy. I think she knows that Tommy is in a better spot to win the game, but she knows if she gets Christy out, it looks better for her. Like Melissa was saying, it builds your resume.
Yeah, absolutely. Melissa said her entire interview was baffling. Yeah. So Nicole ends up putting Christy and Tommy up, and then I think Christy knew that she was the major target. We knew at the very least, if nominations were to stay the same, that if it was Tommy and Christy up there, Jackson and Holly are both voting. And so it doesn't really matter what Cliff or Nicole want at that point. Jackson and Holly can vote out whoever they want. And we know that the two of them would rather have Christy gone, especially Holly. Holly does not like having Christy around. So we knew that that was the way it's going to go. And Christy knew that. So when it came down to the veto competition, everybody got the first 3 questions right. And then we saw Jackson and Tommy fall behind a little bit. And then Holly ended up falling behind and ended up being Nicole, Cliff, and Christy. All of them had 5 points going into 2 questions left. There were a total of 7 questions. This was the classic fill in the blank. They played clips from people throughout the season, and they bleeped out a word or phrase, and they had to answer true or false because Julie gave them an option. And I mean, just saying, I would have got 100% on that, but it seemed pretty simple to me. But then Nicole ended up missing a question, so it came down to Christy and Cliff. And so the 2 options were either they were going to answer the same question, and then they would answer the same, and then they would both either get it right or wrong, and it would go to a tiebreaker, or they would split. And it looked like they were both going to answer true on the last question, and Christy flipped at the last second to false, and she ended up costing her game, really, in the long shot. So Christy ended up switching her answer very last second, and Cliff won the comp because the final answer was true. Garrett, if Christy would have won, and this ended up leading to Christy's eviction, do you think that Christy would have had a chance to win the game, or she was going to get picked off regardless?
Okay, so that's an interesting question because then you have the intervening weeks that are left to decide that, right? So anything could happen at that point. So I would honestly make the argument that even if she had been able to save herself, I think it's just been a matter of time for like a few weeks now at this point. Like she's just been the person that seemed like the most likely to go out, and she just skated by pure willpower, you know? So, I mean, maybe she could have lasted. I really don't know. I can't really say, but I would assume that this probably would have been the next target, I assume, but I don't know.
Yeah. Just to get to this really quick, will they play the next HOH comp tonight? Probably not. Usually after double evict, they give the house guests the rest of the night off. They'll probably play it tomorrow off of live feeds. So chances are if you're following on Twitter and stuff like that, or if you have live feeds, you'll probably see the results tomorrow afternoon. So this ended up coming down to an eviction of 3-0 for Christy to go home. Now, Fume mentions a good point. So Christy got sent out, and Julie asks, out of you and Tommy, was that the right decision to get you out? And as Fume points out, Christy said she hasn't won anything. Tommy's pulled me off the block twice. Tommy has been better at competitions, Charlie. So why do the house guests see Christy as more of, like, I know what I would answer, but in your opinion, why did the house guests see Christy as more of a threat than Tommy?
She's gotten herself off the block 4 weeks in a row, some way or another. And hey,
you think, as Garrett alluded to, it was just. Do you think that they felt like if she didn't get out this week that she could win the game?
Yeah, and you can say the same about Jackson. So that's what's so interesting.
Yeah. So, Garrett, in my opinion, I think that between Christy and Tommy, obviously, whoever was going to be left, whoever didn't get evicted tonight, the power move for Cliff and Nicole would be to flip on Mickey and Christy, or Mickey and Holly, and pull in whoever was left. Do you think that weighed into their decision to kind of want Christy gone, thinking that they could trust Tommy more? If let's say Cliff wins HOH and puts up Jackson and Holly, which I think he would do. I don't think he would send Tommy out. Do you think that Cliff and Nicole would rather work with Tommy than Christy?
I'm actually going to say yes, based on previous parts in the competition where that was almost like when Tommy was kind of on the outs and Christy wasn't, and he was like the odd man in that group. I think that he was like already scheming around in case he had to go alone at some point, which he inevitably, I think, knew he would if he wanted to win. I don't think he pictured I think he would, in his mind, the perfect scenario is him and Christie making it to the final three. But I think he's going to be more able to I think he now smells the blood that is there's this 2v2 and he's in the middle of it. You know what I mean? And so he's got to pick a side, and whichever side he thinks will win. Now, if it's based on past stuff, it could really go either way because he's talked with a lot, all four of these people extensively and formed groups with all of them at different points. So it's I really don't know. But I think for their game specifically, Nicole and Cliff's, it definitely is a better move for them because Christie is just I don't even know what she would do at this point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. So, Charlie, we had 3 clear duos, and it's obvious that Jackson was the meat shield for Holly, and Christie was the meat shield for Tommy. So now Tommy's shield is gone, and he's very vulnerable. As Damien points out, Holly hasn't been nominated in the final 5. Do you think that if Jackson were to go and it were to come down to Cliff, Nicole, Tommy, and Holly, do you think Holly has a chance to win the game against any of those other 3? I mean, she has 2 HOHs, right?
Oh, yeah. Holly probably has the best chance, I would think, right now, especially because Tommy's meat shield's gone, like you're just saying. So it's definitely interesting.
All right, let's get to chat. If you guys have a question for us in chat, then I'll get there. First thing, I saw something about Swaggy. Fume says, what do you think about the King, Swaggy C, coming back next week? Garrett, I know you didn't watch last year, but Charlie, are you excited for Swaley?
Beyond excited.
Also, if anyone asks, it's apple juice I'm drinking. So Jacob said if Tommy doesn't win HOH or POV, he's gone. Now, this is interesting. I think that personally, I think that is the case. We'll answer that in a second, Aaron. Charlie, don't give your answer. So I think personally, if Cliff were to win HOH, I think he would put splitting up Jackson and Holly over voting Tommy out and honoring that Final Four. They just made the Final Four last week. It's not like this has been a year-long thing. But I think that if Jackson or Holly win it, I think that they vote Tommy out because that's just their MO. They want to seem loyal. And at this point in the game, they're all thinking about votes. I mean, I think with Christie saying in her speech as she was leaving, I'm thinking this was strategic on her part. I think her saying, Jackson or Holly, one of you guys are going to win the game, because it's true. They have the votes if either of them make it to the final or if both make it to the final, obviously. Just do you think that's the case, Charlie? If Tommy doesn't win, he's gone, no matter what?
Yeah, they seem to be sticking pretty true to their Final Four deal, so I would agree.
Just an easy pick. Garrett, who's winning, Bears or Packers?
100%. I'm going at this point. Okay, well, first of all, what is the current score?
Currently, the Packers are up 7-3, and the Bears just punted to the Packers, so they're about to get the ball with 9 minutes left in the third quarter.
Okay. If the Packers get started, I'm not going to give a straight answer because I can't just predict unless I was looking at the game right now and I kind of gauge. But
my gut feeling, Packers or Bears?
Feeling, I'm going Bears.
All right,
they're coming back.
Go Bears. Charlie, who's winning?
Packers, of course. Matt LaFleur, he's too good looking.
I'm going Packers as well, but these offenses both look like they suck. It's either that or the defenses are just playing great.
The defenses are playing out of their mind.
Yeah. Christie would go after Holly and Jackson if Tommy was out instead of Nicole and Cliff. Yeah, that's probably true. How has Twitter been? Same old Twitter, people being angry at stuff, people posting lots of, for every like I get on this, I'll give everyone $10. Christie didn't play BB as a trustworthy person. That's why she was an easy vote out. Yeah. I mean, at the same time, Garrett, do you think that Christie would have had the votes had she gotten to the end because of her lack of loyalty?
Probably not, realistically, right? Because let's be real, when it comes down to all these people that got 4 weeks in a row, and all these people are just going to be okay with the fact that it was them and not her. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, that alone, and then you talk about how like, they play the game, and she like was like, I would say probably like everyone kind of not got over, but the emotional outbursts were way less from everybody else in the house, like weeks in. I mean, everyone has their moments, but like that like was like her thing. It was like her gimmick the entire time almost.
I didn't see this. Charlie, was Tommy happy about getting on the block? I think maybe he's a nervous laughter kind of guy.
That's kind of what it looked like to me. Yeah,
Like it's like, well, here I am.
I think he just kind of accepted it. Yeah.
And Jacob says, blowing out the 6 shooters cost them all the games. I think Cliff and Nicole are in a great spot. And what's interesting is that they're a duo, but if it came down to Cliff and Nicole right now for final 2, I think it would be up in the air. That's a split vote from all hell. I think that would be a great final 2 because Cliff has won more comps, but Nicole just made the single biggest move of the game thus far, right?
Yeah, put up the duo that knows each other.
Exactly. Garrett, do you have a rebuttal?
I bet you look cute today too, Damien.
God damn it!
Oh,
just saying, you got to spread the positivity.
it's the hat, bro. It's the hat.
Boys, it's time. I hate to do this, but let's take a look at the standings.
Oh no, I'm scared.
Forgot to update this.
Garrett, you're officially out.
Garrett is officially out, but you're winning, Garrett. Here's the bad news.
The viewers have won.
The viewers, I think, have statistically, unless
somehow he pulls it.
Unless Tommy wins the game and one of my people, unless like Tommy wins the game and Christy wins America's favorite player or something. That's like logically the only way. With Holly, Jackson, and Nicole going out like right away. But right now it looks like Tommy's dead in the water and Charlie having the people voted evicted 2nd, 4th, and 7th. Only one member of the jury. It's tough. So
it's pretty insane that none of us were out until the final 7. That's pretty cool, actually.
So how many points am I sitting at right now?
28.
28.
That's what you're maxed out. You finished with 28 points.
So, but there's still a possibility for the viewers are still going to stomp, obviously.
And you could get America's favorite player. Theoretically, Kemi's a popular Twitter vote. So if Kemi were to win America's favorite player, then you would end up with 33.
So I would have slim chance at that point. Okay, so that could still happen.
Hell yeah, I do fume.
So
it happens.
Live how, bye-bye.
Y'all doubted Queen Holly, and look, she's going to win. Hold on. Who was the Queen Catherine person? Where'd they go?
I think it was Damien.
Yeah, dude. You can't jump ship and say Queen Holly. You said Queen Catherine.
Yeah, bro.
Jacob said I had. See, this is what I respect, man. People saying, you know what, my preseason picks, they're not there. Let's go back. Let's revisit a little bit.
I thought Bella and Jack.
BB21 rankings. That's where I got it. All right, let's go look. Oh no. This is fuck. Oh no.
Oh.
BB21 rankings. Here we go, boys and girls. Here are rankings that Charlie and I had them before the season. So I had Annalise 1. I had the lamp 1. But Tommy, and Jack played hard. David, yikes, out first. And you had David way down. I mean, looking at it, man, I had Cliff low. How did we both have Jessica ranked above it? Nicole's gonna win the game. Nicole's gonna win the game. Look at your bottom 4, Charlie.
Oh my gosh.
That is not good. That is not good.
The opposite of what normally happens.
What is that music?
It's a triple. Who knows?
All right. Anyway, and Jacob, I don't know, man. You can't just say I don't want to sound racist, and then go with and then just that doesn't make it just not racist. You know what I mean? Catherine is a goddess. Are we gonna have back-to-back women winners? BB Canada 6, BB 20, and 21. I mean, right now I think Holly has the best chance to win, and Nicole might be a close second. Actually, probably third behind Jackson.
Definitely.
Dude, that music is driving me crazy.
Myself.
Melissa said, "Who's winning next HOH?" Garrett, if you had to pick, who's winning the next one? Obviously, it can't be Nicole.
I would just based on if it's an not an endurance, but like a physical based competition, probably Jackson. But if it's something more mentally based, maybe Holly. I don't know. It could go either way. Hey, Cliff could be the sneaky again. You never know. It happens.
Damien said, do a wrestling podcast so I can bash what's been going on. Yeah, we need to. Aren't we like a week away from the debut of AEW?
No, it's October. October 4th.
October. That's right. I thought it was September.
October 2nd.
Hey, man, at least they got their title back. Someone threw it on the side of the road. Chris Jericho with a Longhorn Steakhouse. All right. Melissa said if it's a tactical hand puzzle, we all know who's winning.
Cliff with the big red hog is winning.
Jacob said, watch Tommy win. That would honestly be a great comeback story for him personally because, yeah. Damien says AEW is going to be trash. What do you think, Garrett?
I mean, here's what I will say. There has been some trashy stuff at their shows already, so it could happen.
Them having the barricade about 2 feet from the ring and then people almost busting their face over and over again on dives outside the ring. Stupid. But anyway, that'll do for this episode. Glad to have Garrett back because we got the super vet and me. We got the medium vet and Charlie, and we got the newbie and Garrett. So all different lengths. And I think we can all agree double eviction's fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fun. So fun. Melissa predicts Tommy wins and breaks the tie to send out Mickey.
Nice. Woo-hoo. Man.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, imagine if he just said screw it, it's me against the world. Tommy put up like Jackson and Cliff. Just, you know what? Duke it out.
I think I want Tommy to win the next HOH.
Me too. Like, let's spice it up. Like, what will he do? I mean, he's got to go after Jackson and Holly, right? It would probably be he'd put up Jackson and Holly, and then if one of them wins veto.
Because theoretically, if he doesn't, right, he just becomes the next target for Jackson and Holly. So it'd be pointless, right?
And this is the time of the year where the vetoes really matter because theoretically, let's say Tommy were to say, all right, you guys duke it out, puts up Jackson and Cliff, and then Nicole wins and takes Cliff off, and Holly has to go up, and then one of those two goes home, something along those lines. I mean, the vetoes are very, very, very important. Damien says, I want Holly or Nicole to win this game. Fume says Holly votes for Cliff, Nicole votes Mickey out, and Tommy votes Mickey out. Yeah, I mean, that's how it would go. HOH is huge because there's a high possibility for a split vote. If Tommy wins, it's almost guaranteed to be a split vote. If someone wins veto, that's on the block. So, all right, make sure to like and subscribe. Click that bell so you know when we go live. And until next time, guys, see ya.
The yeet has been defeated.